They differ on social dimensions. So let me just run through those 4 dimensions and explain how the 3 models differ, and then I will come to the question of what is happening in the United States. So with regard to the moral dimensions, NRX ideology, the ideology behind corporate libertarianism, or I would call it network states and capital governance, that ideology is very explicit in arguing that humanity is essentially about a natural aristocracy. There are the talented and the untalented. The theorists of this movement, including somebody named Curtis Yarvin, draw on Aristotle. They draw on ancient philosophy and Aristotle's ancient theory about natural slavery, that some people simply are meant to be governed by others because of differentials of talent. In other words, there is no commitment to basic human moral equality in that first paradigm, in the paradigm where technological innovators who are endowed with talents beyond others take responsibility for the economy and governance altogether, the whole kit and caboodle, steer in the direction of accelerationism, right? That's that moral position. And the effective altruism and synthetic technocracy picture, the Sam Altman picture, there is human moral equality. That is why there's a need to give from wealth to those who are less well off, so that none is unjustly affected by a structure that means the gains accrue more to some than to others. But what's missing with regard to that picture of human moral equality and the effective altruism picture is the whole of what human moral equality is about. It's not about merely that we should be protected with regard to certain basic material needs. Again, human beings, as the whole creatures that we are, seek empowerment. Our dignity requires our participation in the decision-making about our own lives, and that's absent from that second paradigm. It's the third paradigm, the plurality paradigm, or the digital democracy paradigm, that both recognizes human moral equality and recognizes both aspects of that. The need for protection in our rights from governmental interference, but also our rights to participate, as well as the need for integration in the productive economy in support of our material well-being. So that's the difference in the moral dimension. With regard to the political dimension, you've heard it already, the NRX movement seeks, in effect, the takeover of the modern nation-state system, seeks to replace the structure of nation-states with a structure of corporate states. That's the most radical change that we see. And it reflects the fact that in this moment, in contrast to the age of electrification, in the age of electrification gave states incredible new capacity that made planning possible. Now, in the age of general purpose AI, again, there's an incredible increase of capacity. But differently this time, there's a fight over who is going to own that capacity. Will it be states or will it be corporations? So that's what we're really watching unfold in the US right now, that fight over whether or not states or corporations. States steered by people or corporations steered by capitalists, which is going to own the new capacity that has been produced by general purpose AI. Then you've got, with regard to the second paradigm, what's the political picture there? With Altman, that is a more conventional acceptance of having the new capacities, in fact, stay in the hands of states, but with immense power in the hands of corporation to steer those states. So no attempt to wrest the state from the people, no complete attempt to do that, but certainly a vision of extreme corporate influence on the activities of the state. Now, the third version, you can tell where I'm going already, the plurality digital democracy version, that is a picture of politics which affirms the value of democracy and continues consistently to put state capacity, to put the capacity generated by general purpose AI in the hands of the people. We need more concrete models of that. Taiwan is the best model that we have, but this is really a call to all of us. I said this is a time for choosing, to select that last model and to think about what different tools do we develop if what we're trying to do is to take the capacity that general purpose tools creates and put that capacity in the hands of the people for the sake of steering society in the direction of human flourishing. Right, that's the political dimension. The economic dimension is, you also, I think, have probably heard by now, the first model continues to double down on the accumulation of capital by a rarefied few, and then linking that capital with power, and without much concern for questions of safety net, social services, welfare, or the like. The second model, effective altruism model, continues to marry the capital accumulation strategy with a welfare picture. So in that regard, again, it hangs over more from the mid-20th century paradigms. And the third model focuses on the question of how do we build an economy that integrates everybody in productivity in the first instance. That is about, for example, human complementing AI instead of human replacing AI. How can we expand the kinds of work we human beings can do for each other, with each other, and for human flourishing, not diminish what we do, not shrink it into merely the projects of the capitalist technocrats, all right? So integrating people in the economy by using tools to expand what human beings are able to do by complementing our own distinctive strengths. Now, in the social domain, last point here, again, you should have heard already across the registers, in the first model, the NRX, libertarian corporate model, or network state plus capital control model, there is very little concern for social cohesion. There is, in a sense, an expectation of caste societies, a separation of those who are naturally superior from everybody else. In the effective altruism case, that's also a very segmented and segregated social picture. In the third case, the plurality case, the focus is on the fact that as human societies, pluralism is a benefit to us. Diversity is a benefit to us. When we can generate connections across lines of difference, build bridges, support those with social cohesion, we actually generate more epistemic power for humanity than when we limit the number of people who are making epistemic contributions to innovation. So the plurality model starts by recognizing that human cognition is plural, machine intelligence is plural. There is not one single thing. There is no graven image of intelligence that we simply should be idolatrously replicating. Rather, there is a divine spark in all of us, and that means as well that our intelligence are multiple. They come in different forms. Some are good at this and some at that. And similarly, again, with machines, there too, if we do our work right, we should be inventing a multiplicity of kinds of intelligence in machines, not idolatrously simply replacing one kind of intelligence only. So that plurality conception starts from that picture of human beings, sees the value in that multiplicity, sees the value in social societies, again, having diversity and activating that for the common good, and then recognizes that when we have diversity in society, when we have social heterogeneity, it doesn't automatically yield the good. It can yield tribalism. It can yield war. It can yield oppression and domination. The challenge is always how to take the potential benefit and value of human pluralism and activate it for the sake of the collective flourishing of humanity. So then that question leads to a very different picture of what tech development might be about. How do we build tools that help us, as the social creatures that we are, make the most out of